Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. OG Anunoby has been one of the most dominant defensive players this season in the NBA, and in this video we're going to look at what he does that makes him so elite. Here are some numbers before we get into the film. He has a 110.3 defensive rating, a defensive field goal percentage of 43.1%. In terms of isolations, he's giving up 0.69 point per possession on 22% shooting. He's leading the league in steals and also blocking just under a shot per game. So now as we dive into the film, we're going to look at what allows OG Anunoby to be so impactful as a one-on-one defender in the NBA. So I think the first thing to look at with any great defender is their stance. So this snapshot right here against the Lakers I think does a great job. His hands are active, but it all starts with his feet. He's in a position in which he's nimble, he's firm, and also reactive. So we'll dive into more slower snapshots and slowed down clips of his stance to see what makes him so successful. Here against Donovan Mitchell, you see he's low, he's in a position to react, he's on his toes, and he's able to make a reaction to the offensive player. One thing that we'll look at later is his ability to anticipate, but his stance allows him to react to movements and attacking by the offensive player. Being low, being nimble, allows him to use that athleticism, be quick, and stay in front of the ball. Being in his stance, he's not the lowest guy, but he's in a position where he is low. He's able to take a hit and be firm and physical with his defense. But overall, he's low, he's nimble on his toes, and he's in a position in which he is able to react to the ball handler and make a play. Now let's look at his activity. Leading the league in steals and just being a force at this end of the floor relies on activity. It all starts with the first initial pass. He disrupts that passing lane, pushing the ball out. But you can see that he does a good job at not having his hands out necessarily, but having his hands in a place where he can make a play on the ball, contest shots, and overall, he is very good at just understanding where the offense wants to go with their anticipation, and he makes a play before the play happens. Here against Luka, you can see his hands aren't out, but he's shadowing the ball constantly marking where the ball is going, whether he's handling or passing, and making it very difficult for the ball handler to make a play. His ability to be so active allows him to force these turnovers, allows him to be in the passing lanes, allows him to just be so good. But one last thing is he anticipates the play. We brought that up earlier, but he's really good at knowing where the shot is releasing from, where they want to shoot the ball, and sometimes he even beats the offensive player to their shot at contesting it early. He did it against Paolo in that first clip, and this last clip here against Philly, he beats James Harden to a shot. His activity at this end of the floor allows him to be so successful, force turnovers, and make plays. And lastly, let's talk about his movement on the defensive end of the floor. Typically, I would say his sliding, but he moves as a defender. You can see he's typically pretty open. His shoulders are protecting the lane line, so he's typically parallel with that in some way, shape, or form. And he likes playing spots. Here against Shea, you can see he does a good job at beating Shea to his spot rather than riding him and trying to angle to get in front. Beating somebody to a spot requires anticipation, requires a defender to understand where the offense wants to go, and he does a really good job at that, starting with his stance, that nimbleness, the ability to move his hips and be quick and athletic, and firm also and take that hit. His movement and quickness as a defender within his stance at staying in front of the ball is one of the best in basketball. He does it with quickness and athleticism and finesse, but also with strength and power. You can see here that he takes this bump from Spencer Dinwiddie, making that shot 10 times more difficult without a true contest. His physicality and also quickness. Here against Kyrie Irving, you can see he's able to move his hips multiple times, change direction, and force a really tough two. The way OG moves as a defender, first he's able to anticipate plays, secondly he's able to move his hips quick and find spots on the floor, and lastly he's able to play quick and also play with force. OG Anunoby has absolutely dominated the NBA this season at the defensive end of the floor with his physicality, athleticism, and quickness. I hope this video shed some light on how he has an elite stance, his activity level, and how he moves as a defender to stay in front. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, learned something new, but for more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.